on the 4 colored pages that we did at the beginning of the year, those would be graphs that you just have to know from their equations and then be able to move them left, right, up, and down. The textbook and the exam often likes to give you just random graphs, right? If I had done a 5th colored paper and this was the random graph that you started with, could you still move it left, right, up, and down? Absolutely. So on the exam and in the textbooks, I'm going to say, they've taken step 1 away from you. They've said, you already know what the graph looks like. Harder questions are just the equation. Can you move the graph of x cubed down 5 units? And they don't give you the graph. Then you have to know it from the beginning. These ones are a little bit easier because the graph of j of x is given to us. Can we move it 4 units to the left and 5 units down? Absolutely. What do you think would be key points? I'm kind of thinking on my original graph, this looks important, and that looks important. If I had those points and I moved them 4 left and 5 down, could I graph accurately? I feel I could. So I'm going to take those points, go 4 to the left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, down 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, draw that point. Same thing with this one. I'm going to cheat a little bit and notice it was 3 apart, so I drew it 3 apart. Over 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, down 5. Those are those 3 points. Add arrowheads on the end. And I feel like I've done a good job of sketching it 4 units to the left and 5 units down. If I'm rereading my question, I've just done the sketch part. It also asks me to write the equation, and again it has this language in terms of the function j. So what did we do to our original red graph? We moved it 4 to the left and 5 down. How do I show that in equation? Well, it's an equation, so I need an equal sign. My new y values are my old red graph. I moved it 4 to the left. X's are liars, so I would show that as x plus 4. And then I moved it 5 down. There'd be a minus 5 at the end. Okay? If you looked in, like when you do your homework, it's very important to look at the answers. If you looked at your answers and they wrote it like this, that's the same, right? They just put the 5 on the other side. So sometimes you'll check an answer key, and it won't be exactly like you wrote it, but it means the same thing. Okay? Then you know that you still got it right. I prefer having the y all by itself. So I prefer this one, but some textbooks will have the other one as the answer. Then it says state the domain and range of each function. So I'm going to do the domain of my blue one and its range, and it says each function, so that kind of implies that we have to do the red one as well. So working with arrowheads with domain and range, and again, starting with domain with the x values, is there a smallest x value? Okay? This is kind of hard sometimes to see. This arrowhead, what does it mean? It means it's going up forever, but it's also going to the left forever. As it goes up, it goes to the left. Same thing on the right-hand side. As it goes up, it goes to the right. So there is no smallest x value, no biggest x value. Are there any x values that aren't included? No. All the x values are included. So when all of the x values are included, we can write our domain like this. X belongs to the real numbers, saying that every x value is possible. Or we can write it in interval notation as saying you start from negative infinity and go to infinity. Again, you would have a choice on how you write this. You could choose either one if it asked. For my y values, is there a smallest y value? Yes. My smallest y value is at -5. Is there a biggest y value? No, it goes up forever. So I could write that is the y values are bigger than or equal to minus 5. Or, in interval notation, starting at minus 5 with a square bracket because it's included, and going up forever to infinity. On my red graph, so because it says domain and range of each function, the domain is everything for my red one. My y values are bigger than or equal to 0. And I guess I could write, whoops, that's wrong. We always put round brackets with infinity. I just did something invisible. I just reread the question to make sure I didn't miss anything. But it's good, I'm saying it out loud, because whenever you're done a math question, you should read it again. But don't read it out loud. That's really awkward during a test. Start reading the questions out loud. Sometimes awkward things during tests are fun. I'll tell you a story in a second, but first I'm going to give you the questions to circle on this one. You can circle eight, 9, and 10.